It is time for UTTU. Welcome back to Cocky Gachas, and in this video, I'm going to share with you guys my personal UTTU guide. As you can see, UTTU just dropped a couple hours ago, but I've already cleared up to stage 21. So there is also going to be an additional 9 more stages, right? There's going to be up to 30 stages. It's going to be quite difficult, but so far, I don't think that 20 is the most difficult. You just have to know how to read. And also, there's a special week that unlocks on November 30th. This is going to be comprising of 5 additional stages that is going to be slightly difficult as well. So over here, the whole system, right, I want to explain briefly to you guys before I go into the currency so that you guys know what you should prioritize on and what are the tips when it comes to spending your currencies. But first, one thing that's very special about UTTU, if I go into the stage over here, you are going to see it for yourself in full display. If you've never seen this before, there are going to be additional cards, and these are called fame cards. And over here, right, if I were to click on the fame cards, you can just see that they have additional effects, and each character can equip up to 2 fame cards. You can treat it as additional equipment or side cubes. And additionally, there is going to be a Verton card. So for Verton itself, you can see this premium looking, very nice looking border cards, right? They have additional effects that apply to the allies instead of just applying to that specific character. So this is going to also determine your strategy, especially when catering the right team to tackle the UTTU stages that will prove to be a bit more of a challenge. However, at this point, you might be thinking, hey Cocky, how do I get these fame cards? So it's very simple. You are going to open up this card banner. You can see all of these cards over here, right? These are up for grabs, and a lot of this that I have in fact are just gotten from clearing the stage from 1 to 20, and I got 1 additional gold card. But you can also pull for cards at gacha within the gacha, guys. Over here, you're going to get UTTU retails, and for UTTU retails, you can treat it like a gacha system for fame cards, whereby you are going to potentially get random fame cards depending on how far you have cleared. You can see all of these squares, right? Each represents the stage threshold that I have cleared. For stage 20, once I've cleared, you unlock this red threshold, and there is a 26% chance to obtain it. Every day, you'll be obtaining 5 free tries to pull for the fame cards. However, you are going to be limited based on where you clear, like I mentioned. Hence, you do not want to spend all of your tries when you are starting the game, when you're starting at stage 1. Try to clear as far as possible. People have recommended to clear up to stage 16. Since my units are more invested, I decided to pull one time just to try, right? To see how it looks like when on the first stage, I'm only left with 9 tries. But now, if I were to just click on this, it will show you what you can potentially get. You can see all of the cards here. You can pick which ones you want to go in, and then you can obtain all 3 of those cards. So this is quite convenient to obtain the cards that you want. However, what cards you pick is going to be reliant on what team you're trying to run. And for all of these cards, right, it doesn't matter if you don't get the gold version. There is also the lesser version. So it starts from green, it goes to blue, and then yellow. You can see that there are equivalent counterparts. It's just like the effect of that specific type keep increasing, and you cannot use duplicate effects. So you cannot use like a gold pickles card and also a yellow pickles card. You cannot do that on the same character. So just take note of that. But generally, you do want to go for DPS cards at first because it will help you rush through the content. And also, one card that I really recommend for a start is going to be this Muxi +5, especially if Pickles or Necrologist. When you start with Muxi +5, you instantly cast the damage boost. It's going to help you skip through a lot of hurdles, especially fast. This is how I managed to speedrun it to stage 20 with my invested units. Of course, if you are less invested in your units, right, then you want to go for something that is more sustainable, such as this, whereby there is a Muxi limit +2 and Muxi cost -2. It's going to make you have multiple ultimates every single turn. It is pretty sick, honestly, but this one is for speed running. In general, for the other fame cards, you can just go for the crit ones, like the Leah card that gives you critical rate for ultimates, additional 50%. If you pair it with this, you're going to have a very good time when you spam ultimates for your hyper carries. Of course, this is going to involve a lot of mix and matching, not just from a carry standpoint. There is also for taunting base, the new bevel card that allows you to taunt. All of these things come into play. So this is not going to be a video where I touch in depth. You're going to rely on your own judgment call to see which cards are good for you based on your tips. But I know what you guys are concerned with. You guys are concerned with the rewards, because clearing this definitely have to give you rewards and event currency. So here you can see there is a UTTU shop. There are quite good things, including in Apple skin. If you don't use Apple, you might think that this is not required, but personally, I think you should definitely grab it. As for how much event currency you're going to get, I have already compiled in this Excel over here. In the description below, you can also see it for yourself. But first, we're going to take a look at the first clear rewards. Over here, once you clear stage 1 to 20, you're going to get roughly 59,000, 60,000. If you full clear everything till stage 30, you're going to get 71,100. Also, the 5 additional stages that I mentioned opens up for the extra bulletin. It's going to come on November 30th. You're going to get 7,500 if you full clear everything. And then for the achievements, they are relatively easy to clear. I wouldn't say that they are that difficult because it limits at chapter 20, which is stage 20, and you are going to get 9,100 additional income from there. And you end up everything, you are going to get full clear rewards of 87,700, and if you only full clear to stage 20 plus the extra stages, you're going to only get 74,000. But of course, this doesn't mean anything if we do not look at the shop cost and how much it takes to actually full clear the shop. So to full clear the shop, I've already compiled it. It is 84,240. You can see over here, I've also color coded this because I do understand that not everyone is able to full clear U2. So since we have a 10k deficit, right, you definitely want to pick and choose what you want to get. And ideally, this is what I have planned out. The green ones are the mandatory ones, I do feel. The yellow ones are the slightly less valuable, and the gray ones, I don't think this is that valuable. Since all of this, you can just get it from straight up stamina, right? It's not really that important. The silver is debatable, but even then, this is one of the lower rarity ones whereby you should have a lot. The apple skin is something that is quite controversial, but personally, I think, like I mentioned, right, limited skin, you definitely want to grab it. So I would consider this a must buy. But if you don't want it, you can definitely clear out all of the other stuff over here, even the low priority ones, because 74k is more than enough. This apple skin itself already costs you 25,000. And that about sums up everything that you need to know about U2. But of course, when it comes to clearing U2, right, you might not have pickles. That is quite good for this U2 stages, especially for the Max Muxi Gains one. And you can see that I'm using Necrologist. So if you want to see the breakdown for Necrologist versus pickles, definitely check out in this video over here. I'll see you guys over there. This is Cocky Gachas, signing off.